The last two places in the second round of the Nedbank Cup to be decided this evening. One here at the Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane. It's BARVJC against Jomo Cosmos. Live coverage on your World of Champions. Welcome everyone here to the Limpopo province. BARVJC, of course, twice semi-finalists in this competition. They reached the quarterfinals in the last campaign, looking to perhaps emulate their success earlier this season in the Telkom knockout, where they lifted their first major trophy. They're up against the Jomo Cosmos side these days, well past their glory days. They were winners of this competition way back in 1990. But of course, with the wily Jomo Sono in charge, you never know what they might have up their sleeve. It's going to be an intriguing evening's entertainment here on your World of Champions. William Shongwe is alongside me. He'll be providing our expert analysis on this Tuesday night. What chances of Jomo Cosmos seeing themselves in the last 16 at the end of this evening's encounter?
This being the Cup of Dreams, as it is often called, you can be sure that surprises are always somewhere close by to happen. But you know what? Thinking of his position in the league, in the National First Division, Jomo might not be too concerned, but he said something very, very important to me, to say, you know what, if I put pressure to want them to win, they might start along the way, but I've given them freedom to go and express themselves. And these are young stars that will appreciate a stage of this nature. So that also has its own possibilities.
This is yet another clash in the first round between a team from the top flight and from the National First Division directly below them. We've seen some upsets already this first round. Polokwane City were losers just across the road here against TTM on Wednesday night, lost by 2-1. The holders, Free State Stars, bundled out at home by Richards Bay on Saturday. And on Sunday we saw Maritzburg United eliminated at the hands of Witbank Spurs. So an opportunity for yet another NFD side to claim the scalp of a team from one division above them. BARVJC in the green, Cosmos in the red, coming out onto the park for the start of tonight's encounter. Lovely pitch conditions, as always is the case here at the Peter Mokaba Stadium, and perhaps not the kind of crowd we were hoping for on this Tuesday evening. One other game in the first round, Maccabi FC against the Magic from Cape Town in Dobsonville. We'll try and keep you updated with scores from that one as well. The Magic, of course, is the side owned by George Durnley, former Bafana striker. So let's introduce you to the two lineups for tonight's encounter. BARVJC making 4 changes from the team that drew with Orlando Pirates in their last game. Makume comes in for the injured Sibia. Ndatsane is restored to the starting lineup. He's also the captain tonight. Lekladi Marubanya will bring much needed experience, and there's an opportunity out wide as well for Tsidiso Pachi. Men in green, having drawn their last 2 encounters, this is how they will form up tactically.
Yes, you spoke about the experience of Dubanya in that center of the midfield alongside Umtanzane. Certainly for me, I think these are 2 players that can actually help the direction of which way the game is going to go. But Sodi just in front of them is another who has risen to the occasion this season, scoring goals and playing in the number 10 position and looking to continue its fine vein of form alongside the coach Wetson Nyirenda on the bench.
He will have Wetson Nyirenda, the league to worry about in the coming weeks. They're still struggling near the bottom, BARVJC. Jomo Cosmos tonight with 5 changes from their last match. They've lost their last 4 games in the NFD. They give a debut today to Letlo Nohlo Kakana. He came on as a substitute in their last game against TS Sporting, a 20-year-old from Garankuwa. There's also a second match only for young Carlo Guy and for the new signing from Swaziland, Stanley Umokoro, who's originally from Nigeria.
He brings, I'll start with Omokoro, he brings CAF experience playing from Babane Swallows. So they might not have a lot of experience in this team because I mentioned only 3 remain from last season. So this is a young side, but you got Hanamub, who is also the Namibian international, so he should be able to give them quite a bit. Colin Guy, of course, is the son, Carlo Guy is the son of Colin Guy, who's also a known professional soccer player with Highlands Park in the past.
Tando Nzanzeke is the referee tonight. Mervyn van Wyk and Clifford Twala running the line. Given Leclerc, the fourth official, Ronnie Johnson, all the way from Cape Town, is tonight's match commissioner. 3 Nigerians, 1 Ivorian, and a player from Namibia in the Cosmos lineup. And of course, Baroka, well, they've got a fair number of foreigners as well, with Chipizeze, the Zimbabwean, in goal, Banda from Tanzania, and Gebhard from Namibia, who originally came to South Africa and played for Jomo Cosmos. So underway, Baroka in the green, Cosmos in the red. And an opportunity tonight to see Jomo Sono back on the big stage. Baroka and Cosmos did not meet each other down in the lower ranks previously, so tonight get a first opportunity to look at each other on a head-to-head basis. Cosmos didn't make the first round of the Nedbank Cup last season, but they did get to the quarterfinals in 2017 when Chippa United beat them. So first free kick in favour of Baroka. Dickens, the player, brought down. Baroka looking to keep up the representation from Limpopo in this competition. Black Leopards booking their place on Saturday night by beating Orlando Pirates. TTM, of course, winning the derby against Polokwane City last Wednesday. The draw for the second round, the last 16 of the Nedbank Cup, to be made on Thursday at the SuperSport Studios. Live, of course, on your World of Champions. Goalkeeper tonight for Cosmos is Chibwe, of Zambian descent, born in Rustenburg, played for Platinum Stars previously, was in fact used a couple of times in the CAF Confederation Cup, so he's also got considerable experience. One of the 5 changes coming into tonight's encounter, replaces Buthelezi in goal. Cosmos now looking to launch their first attack of the game. This is Guy in the middle of the park. William mentioned his father, Colin, of course, played for Jomo Cosmos, albeit fairly briefly, 1983. After Jomo bought the Highlands Park franchise, he stayed on for 6 months or so. Most of his career with Hellenic and Highlands Park. Ndatsane with the foul. Baroka looking to keep a good press on the Cosmos lineup, for that should be the first corner of the game. No, goal kick's being given. Goes against the Nigerian, Uizu.
Still interested just to see what kind of a game our Cosmos are going to come up with. Are they going to build up from the back? Are they going to play with pace? Or are they going to sit and hold it defensively, wait for the right moments to play it forward?
Perhaps not utilising that chance. A little bit slow in the build-up here, Cosmos, allowing Baroka to get players behind, but they do get a shot in. Effort was from some way out from the new man, Kakana.
That is exactly what Prajay was talking about here. If you look at how he turns around beautifully, this is what I mentioned about his ability to weave his way in such type of angles. And he says, oh, you almost remind me like the time when Lafort first arrived. I remember I had a similar chat with him just before Lafort played, and went disappointed thereafter with what Anthony Lafort was able to produce. It was at the Chimiston Stadium, if I'm not mistaken. I can't quite remember who it was up against. Those were the days where he used the Chimiston Stadium as his home ground. So that is how he sounded when he spoke about Ukekana.
Kekana impressed at the ABC Motsepe playoffs at the end of last season, signed by Cosmos, but first full start tonight for the man wearing jersey number 37. Forward here from Mahaka. Looking up front for both Sodi and Dickens. They're the two danger men as far as Baroka are concerned. Baroka, of course, have a horrible home record this season in the league. Much more success on the road. In fact, their last win was away against Maritzburg just before Christmas. And they've got points down in Cape Town as well. 1 point against Benny McCarthy's Cape Town City. Cosmos at the moment in the National First Division, a little bit behind the pace setters in their bid, of course, to try and win promotion back to the top flight. They're in 12th place, 20 points from 13 games. Now Dickens lays it off, shot comes in. Chibwe with the fairly comfortable collection. Sorry, correction to what I said earlier about Cosmos. 18 games played, 20 points, 12th place in the league, and that's already 19 behind the leaders, Stellenbosch, well into the second round of the competition. Yeah, they come again now, the home side. Baroka in the green, looking to strike the early breakthrough. That's an excellent shot and an equally good save. And Chibwe having a little word with his defence there. Collins Mahaka not scared to go for goal.
Understandably so. The big concern, look at how the defence just keeps backing off and allowing him the kind of space. That was very, very inviting. And the goalkeeper does exceptionally well to put that one out for the corner. And this is what Cosmos will have to be very watchful of. If they're going to back that far deep.
First corner of the night. Punched away effectively by the goalkeeper. Now maybe a chance on the breakaway. This is Kekana. What sort of pace has he got? Early ball, that's a lovely one through. Offside flag stays down. And it just gets away up front from Masuku.
His first touch lets him down. It's a beautiful ball played. Kekana was able to find him in a well-weighted pass to set it in front into his run. And that first touch let him down badly.
Remember, tonight there's also one league game, Mamelodi Sundowns and Amazulu.
Now we can see what kind of a game plan Cosmos going to be able to apply here. This was a quick counter from me, so we are more likely to expect a whole normal situation whereby they will come out of their defensive half, depending what's the position of Baroka. But in that case, remember they moved out for that set piece, so there was definitely a great moment to come with a quick transition in the center.
Well, Hizu there with the foul given away. One of the three Nigerians in the side. They've got Obi and Umokoro, who's at the centre-back position, just signed from Mbabane Swallows in Swaziland. There have been quite a few players who've been snapped up by NFD clubs from Swallows of late. They've got a couple who've gone off to Mbombela United, one as well at TS Sporting, Mkweli. So the South African clubs watching the success of the Swazi team in last year's CAF Confederation Cup, where they made it through to the group phase. First Swazi side to ever achieve that, and have been picking off the best talent over the last couple of months.
And to an extent that the current, should I say, Mbabane Swallows team is a shade of what they used to look like, with so many players having been snatched by the South African sides. In fact, this last weekend, losing to a lowly bottom Amanzini Wanderers by a scoreline of about 2-1, Mbabane Swallows. Something that hasn't happened in quite some time. So that's just so where Mbabane Swallows are at the moment.
Which is your old club, William?
Manzini Wanderers.
Ah, yes.
Oh, the Hub Giants.
Now out comes the keeper. defense gets there first, and we will have a first corner for Jomo Cosmos.
Makume, the player that obviously hasn't had much action in that center of defense and suddenly finds himself back in the absence of Sibia, will cherish this moment as well with some beautiful display.
He's got plenty of experience next to Makume in Semenya. Chance you have on the turn. Umukuru looking for a half chance there. Big Nigerian's playing only his second game for Cosmos and signing in the January transfer window. Also a second start tonight for Carlo Guy.
Do not forget Mbokoma, Zephaniah Mbokoma, who we know him in the PSL playing for Chippa United.
Yeah, he went in the one direction at the end of last season when a whole pile of Cosmos players went to Chippa. Now Dickens looking to square. Little too strong. Gebhardt, enough for the corner, one would fancy. Well, the goal kick's been given. Kakana came back to help with defensive duties. Little concern at the back there with looks like Masuku, but he's okay.
Big goalkeeper, Chiba. When you have a quick look at him, kind of reminds me of Akpe of Chippa United, you know.
Daniel Akpe.
Yes, with the beard. But he's got a presence about him. That's what's very important in a league like the South African League, where there's a whole lot of crosses played from the wide area, so you need a goalkeeper that has the ability to come up and help defensively.
Now Guy in possession, but it gets caught. Clean up at the back is from Banda. Matume forward. That's a great ball, actually, just skidding away on this surface. Good little run from Dickens.
But they've also got Ule Bahi, who is of Ivorian origin. And I'm sure those who would remember him would have featured for African Warriors from the Free State. He's another that has experience.
Yes, Cosmos. Inviting little cross, no one gets onto the end of it. Well, you're speaking of experience, William. There are a couple of real veterans in the side. Labai, you mentioned, 34 years old now, the Ivorian, 7 seasons in the NFD, 3 of them with Cosmos. And on the other end, we've got Madubanya at the age of 34, 3 league titles to his name, 2 Telkom knockouts as well. And of course, at the back, Semenya, who wears jersey number 36 because he is 36. He'll be 37 in September, which means for next season, if he's still around, he can change his number as well.
And I joked with him, funny enough, to say, hey, when are the alarm bells going to start ringing about retirement? He says, not a chance, not anytime soon.
That's good to hear. He's been a big factor for Baroka this season.
Indeed, it brings experience, can play as a rightful back, but also can play in the center of defense.
Foul Dansane by Oizo. He's given away a few now in this free kicks in the early stages of this game. Coming up for the 15-minute mark here. One real shot so far to test Chibwe from Mahaka. Three players around this free kick. Dickens looks best poised. Let's see what they can deliver.
Do not write off Mahaka, because that's his best position. That's where he strikes them so well. He's got quite a number of set pieces from that range.
Dickens, the goalkeeper, turns that away for a corner when it looked as if it could be a fairly comfortable catch.
Oh, would it be a question that I saw it a bit late because it went over the wall actually?
Well, might have slipped out of his hands.
Yeah, that's a poor take. Not at all the kind of power that you'd have expected to give him problems.
So Baraka with another corner. And they've certainly got a height. But then too so have Cosmos.
Unzenzega has a hard time trying to keep those players away from one another.
Here it comes, somewhat belatedly, through most of the defense, eventually cleared away. Every single Cosmos player now back in their own half. A little disappointing from Semenya. There's that 36 on the back. Imagine if you were playing these days, William, would there be enough space for the number on the back of the jersey?
if obviously the numbers are given by your age. Wow. No, it's still 2 digits, Mark, listen.
Just about.
Yeah.
Mahaka dispossessed. Here come Cosmos. Ohizu. Good running here. This might be a chance for the shot. A little hasty in the execution, but they made some space, and this Kakano on the right-hand side is proving a lively little customer in these early stages.
On paper, he's supposed to be studying or coming out from the wide area, but I think alongside the move, he does drop and tuck to the inside to give himself these kind of moments. His tactical ability, obviously, to understand the demands of a move, or where he's more likely to be of benefit to his team, being the attacking player.
Baraka come into this with 1 win from their last 7 matches. That includes the Telkom knockout final, which ended in a 2-all draw. And if you take that as a draw, then the Maritzburg United game was the only success they've had just before Christmas. Since the turn of the year, they've lost here against Black Leopards in the Limpopo derby. Got a good point though away at City and at Orlando Pirates in their last encounter. They'll be up against Chippa United next on Sunday at home in what is going to be a vital game in terms of the relegation dogfight. I'm sure the new Chippa coach Clinton Larson will be keeping a close eye on this evening's encounter.
He's probably licking his lips now in anticipation of what is more likely to happen in that game, because it will mean, if he wins, it will mean 3 on the trot, or 3 wins since arriving, which will be an incredible record for somebody coming into a Chippa United that had gone through 9 games without a win.
A little too strong out wide. Been another interesting day in the PSL, by the way. If you haven't heard the news, Eric Tinkler, the new coach of Maritzburg, announced earlier this morning. Mushin Etegral departing yesterday. And there is, of course, now 48 hours left until the end of the transfer window. A couple of deals being made in these final days. And I'm sure that will continue through tomorrow and Thursday. Baraka already had a little bit of a clean out this January transfer window of squad players they've released.
But it's the name that stands out for me. If you talk about cleaning out, might not be a lot, but if you think about Okhaswane, who I thought was really a key member of the squad last season particularly, he really contributed so much.
The other notable departure, Matlocha,
Yes, Richard. And then Davis Ngawusu.
They have signed a new player from Zimbabwe, Shinyan Getere, who did very well in domestic football in Zimbabwe. 30-year-old midfielder. He's just had one appearance so far as a substitute. We might get an opportunity to see him tonight off the bench. Dickens almost stealing the ball away. Now at the back with Lebai, the skipper, finds Guy. Quick early ball forward. This is better from Jomo Cosmos. 2-8 in the middle for a decent cross, and a decent cross comes in. Chipizeze, the goalkeeper, looked a little uncomfortable. Maybe a more effective touch, and suddenly you had an opportunity there for Cosmos to open the scoring. Delightful ball inside, it must be said.
Beautiful quality that actually commented the goalkeeper in some way, but it doesn't quite make the right kind of contact. That's good enough.
Someone got a touch along the way, so corner it is. Now Kakana cuts inside. He tries to bring it back onto the right foot and just allows the defense enough time that Sane got the challenge in. But it'll be another set-piece opportunity. There, Kakana perhaps showing a little inexperience, because at this level of the game, you can't have that much time on the ball. So 5 corners already, just over 20 minutes played. Header! Straight at the goalkeeper. Good solid one as well from the skipper, Lebai, the 34-year-old Ivorian.
And just as well that Chipizeze somehow recovers in time to be in the perfect position in the direction of the shot for him to hold it.
It was a great header as well.
Power, good power, yes.
Leaning into it and heading it down is textbook stuff.
I can imagine with Chipizeze backing off anywhere on the side, it would have been difficult for him to react to it. But the thing is, the fact that he went and realized early enough that it wasn't his ball, that for me is good goalkeeping, and the quick feet to recover into that position also. Half the time when a goalkeeper commits like this is found wanting in no man's land.
Over the top of the defense now. Dickens looking to run onto it. And Lebai back with the defensive duties. 7 years in South Africa and still registered as a foreigner. I don't know where that paperwork has gone wrong.
And in a fast-paced game, played at such a high tempo, at his age, can he sustain?
A question that will be answered in the next, what, 70 minutes?
This boy is a star. I can understand why Jomo spoke so highly of him. Look at how tight the players around him, and yet he was able to get himself away from everybody else in there to bring him down, basically, to get the ball back or away from him.
And not overawed by the stage either. Here he comes again. Guy gets a little touch in there. Turns possession over. Looking for the men up front. Masuku. Great shot on target from Ozil.
There's an interesting understanding of good movements between Masuku and Oizu. And also, obviously, if you bring the youngster, Ukekana, on this right-hand side, there is a bit of fluidity that you'll appreciate on the Cosmos side. And I'm sure Jomo will be happy with what you can see right now. It's promising.
Chance though. Oh, wonderful defensive work from the skipper, who's leading by example. He's fired up tonight.
Excellent. Anticipation.
Good cross though, and open opportunity squandered. And Saudi, you would ordinarily put your money on him to stick that away. That was a gilt edge opportunity. Cosmos defense leaving a huge gap here. How did he miss that, William?
And I'm trying to think who was the player on the far side. Was it Hanamop, who couldn't quite read the action? That bull is going to drop a little bit in front of him, so he should have been he was the one that was with Usodi initially, so he should have moved up with him. Ball watching, obviously, meaning there's a lack of experience somewhere at this level. Clash of heads, was it?
Yep. We will have the medical men out, and referee Nzanzeka making sure that the medical team was out straight away. Datsane was more the victim of his own teammate than the clash with the Cosmos opponent. Hassan Banda just behind him, the Tanzanian international who they spotted in the Kasafa tournament here in Polokwane a couple of years ago. They also got Chawapiwa, you might remember, from Zimbabwe. He is on the bench, by the way, for the 4th successive game. Datsane obviously hurting himself with the fall. This was a chance for Gebhardt and some superb defending. Look at how he's fired up.
But going back to Hassan Banda, I think we must agree that he's fallen out of favor in recent times. He hasn't been a regular where he would have featured prominently through so many games last season. And this season around, he's being played in patches.
I suppose the same is true of Chawapiwa. The same Kasafa tournament, of course, produced or spotlighted Hanamup on the left-hand side of Cosmos's defense. That's where Jomo saw him in Polokwane here in May last year. In fact, the tournament where Banda and Chawapiwa were spotted, that was the one in the Northwest Province at the Royal Bafokeng Sports Palace, and also at Moruleng Stadium.
That's right.
Each day a different stadium, William. You get confused sometimes.
Which venue is it going to be happening at? He is not a good find for Baroka from Castle type of league, which is like what, the 4th tier of the...
Yeah, and straight into Cup Final hero.
Oh, believable. That's football at its best. But it just goes to show that the talent that is available even in the lower leagues, if you just go out enough to find it. But all you need to do, the challenge with that type of talent is you need to nurture it. Do you have the time to nurture it, to bring it up steadily? Not all the team has the privilege like Baroka, who can afford to drop them, because expectations are a little less than in some of the big teams.
Still waiting for Jomo to wear his first suit on the bench. He's been the coach, by the way. Let's watch the shot come in. He's been the coach now since '95. Of course, the owner of the club since '83. Roy Matthews was his initial coach, and when they were relegated, then he took over. In fact, '94 was the season that they came straight back. So since 1994 to 2019, that is a longevity record on the bench, which I'm sure will never be broken. It does help that you are your own employer.
That's the only way that you can survive the chop.
Great ball, yeah, chance to churn for the Nigerian. Very good challenge, but he's still in there. Still get the shot. Surely now, Cosmos, they take the lead, and deservedly so as well. They've been knocking on the door in these early stages, and into the back of the net from Masuku. One of the 5 changes in today's lineup. Masuku with a fairly comfortable finish. All the hard work was done by the Nigerian Oizu.
And also the presence of mind that his angle was narrowing, and also the anticipation of the goalkeeper was for him to take the shot. But how he springs that surprise pass across the face of goal to find Masugu, that for me was key. Oh, brilliant. Look at how he forcefully makes his way into the area.
He looks a very good player, this Uizu, the Nigerian. We've seen a solid shot from him earlier on, and now a great little pullback for Inki Masuku to finish it. This is a second goal for him. He was at the Bombela United side last season. He's up against one of his former teammates, Pachi, who joined Baroka from Mbombela at the beginning of this campaign. So, after a weekend of shocks, are we going to have one more here on this final night of first round action in the Nedbank Cup? I'll tell you what, that'll be a dream match in the next round. Kaizer Chiefs against Jomo Cosmos. That'll bring back a few memories.
I mean, I'm looking at the time. It's only 10 minutes into the game. That is in the first half. Sometimes I think, oh, it's a little bit too early maybe. And this will give you Baroka enough time to regroup and make necessary changes. And once again, it would be the question of will Cosmos be able to sustain this level of performance, because they've started off well. And I mentioned the Bahi in that center of defense for Cosmos, the skipper, where they will keep up with the pace of some of the more attacking players of like Sodi and Dickens up front for Baroka.
Here's Kakana now. Guy, possession is turned over. Chance for Baroka. Still into the area. Guy makes the challenge. Dickens is offside. That won't count. A little bit of a let-off there for Cosmos.
He doesn't understand it. He thought they had stayed true to the line, and this basically explains why the call was made without a doubt. Yes, he gets it past the goalkeeper, but he comes from an offside position.
Carlo Guy had his hand up to the bench to apologize for giving that ball away and setting up the opportunity for Baroka. Update from Dobsonville, Maccabi, who are NFD side, now being coached by Joel Masuta. This is his third job in about, in 3 months, in charge of Maccabi tonight. He's taking on the Magic side from the ABC Motsepe League in the Cape, coached by David Kanemayer. 0-0 the scoreline after 30 minutes at the Dobsonville Stadium in Johannesburg. Gebhard is the first man in the book tonight.
A hand into the face of the youngster Kekana. Obstruct him, but with an elbow type of a push into the face. No, that's why the card.
Well, he got a real knock on the chin. Now, if that was done deliberately, it was borderline red card, that. Well, Kakana looks to be okay. Thought Father Christmas was on the bench there for a moment. So they got the big man forward again, Cosmos, looking for a second here. High one to the back post. Chipizeze misses. Not kept in play, however, by the captain Lebai. Decent crowd tonight supporting Cosmos. There must be at least 50 in the house who are wearing Cosmos jerseys, singing away and enjoying the lead that their side has here. Not been a happy time of late in the league for Jomo Sono's side, so this will be a massive lift for them.
It's just that when you're talking to BARVJC, you just are never sure whether he really means it. I mean, honestly, the way he spoke so highly about this team, then you ask yourself, why are they where they are in the log? But it says, give me a few months. I know it's a little bit, there's not a lot of time for me to actually prove that. But even if I don't make it this season, it's a given next season. I'm not going to dismantle this team. I was forced last season to do so. There were pressures that I was facing, but this time around, no.
Chance here! Oh, what a wonderful opportunity. Sneaking in at the back from was Pachi, but the ball got away from him. Great little run behind the defense and then unable to convert. They've had a couple of good chances now. Baroka find themselves under a bit of pressure. Here might be another opportunity for Cosmos if they can get this one square. That's really good chance for Masuku to try and return the favor and set up Ohizu. Masuku was going for glory when maybe more of a square ball. Look at the Nigerian reacting well. Now,
but
he was in his rights though to have a... That's right.
And actually, Chipazeza actually, I think, got a decent touch to stop that ball. It was in the direction of goal.
Well, it's a...
Oh, yes,
it is a corner.
Initially, I thought he wasn't given.
Cosmos now have overtaken Baroka in the corner count, a reflection of how well they are doing. And Kakana has gone across to take it. Look to curl it in. Still Dickens cleaning up. Semenya trying to break out of defense, but he gives away the foul. In fact, it was Banda, not Semenya. Ohizu, the player, brought down.
Not only is he good going forward when they do lose the position of the ball, he's always ready to chase, and which is obviously a key moment of the game. The transition part, if you do well enough to regroup and be able to win the ball, you have a chance to get it back into the attack immediately.
Now Guy makes a bit of space for himself, beats off one challenge, laying it back. Shot didn't really pack the power. There were a couple of deflections as well that took the pace off the ball. Good pace here from Baroka. The shooting has been wayward, and on that occasion also from Pachi. Be a bit worried, Wetson Nyirenda. Played against Cosmos when he was on the books of Kaiser Chiefs and Hellenic during his time here in what was then the NSL. Early 90s.
Now, looking at the action areas here, it's all happening a bit into the Baroka defense. And I can promise you, it's not because Baroka are keeping it defensively, it is because Cosmos are making entries into that box on numerous occasions now to deserve that level of percentage.
Some desperate defending again from Jomo Cosmos. At times being ripped open here. Dickens with the attempt. Umukuru decides, let's just get rid of this ball. Good running again. Well, there's been a little injury here. The ref play should continue. Now the ball's been knocked out. Now I wonder if that might be a hamstring or something in the chase back. Banda in some trouble.
He's lying down awkwardly, which indicates the injury is a little bit more serious. Looks like he needs to be stretchered off the field. Unzanzega is indicated to the medical side. Oh, once again, Mark, listen, if you see a player with his hands on his face after an injury, the message is very clear. It's serious.
Edson Urenda using the opportunity to have a bit of a post-mortem with these players and some advice. This looks very serious for Banda.
Could be a muscle pull that, and the way that he lunged forward and immediately slowed down. And now we've got to start looking into that bench, Mark. Listen, who's available. Khashana is one of the defenders who can play at the right back, and then he can push the Semenya, the other central defender, or the right full back into a more central position. There they are warming up.
Well, we're heading towards half-time here at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. Baroka looking for the equalizer. Semenya forward, offside again. Relief for Cosmos. Chance to clear their lines.
Yeah, but you know what? Look at how cleverly the defensive line of Cosmos just holds or held back the run in that moment just to allow Sodi to stray offside. That is organization. I mean, those two internationals in the center of defense for Cosmos are really making a difference. Debahi and Umukoro. Hanamu as well.
Cosmos again under pressure here. Baroka certainly livened up since conceding that goal. They've got to be careful because this Cosmos side are quick on the counter.
I can tell you that whole defensive line is full of foreign profile, Mark. Listen, for Cosmos. You got Hanamub, Namibia, Ebai, Ivorian, Omokoro, Nigerian, so is Kizido, Nigerian. And of course the goalkeeper, half foreign. Is there something like that?
I will stay out of that, sir.
Running away from taking responsibility. Please.
No, running away from controversy created by you.
I'm dragging you in deliberately.
Now, Chiwe up, collects comfortably.
And it's at that time of the game where the goalkeeper has that little leverage to try and wind the clock down to see if they can go into the half with the lead.
Well, that was Banda. Really battling.
It's a pull. It's not going to come right anytime soon.
And in fact, staying on this long is only going to exacerbate it. Yeah. Clock says we are into the final minute of this first half. Baroka continue to knock on the door. Cosmos continue to look dangerous on the counter. And here they go again. Masuku. That is really expecting something out of the ordinary from that range. But he's buzzing tonight, Kakana. Let's forgive him that. Still in play, yeah, this might be an opportunity, but the ball is handed away, and it'll be a chance for Bukoma to get it forward. Omokuru as well, a bit of a wayward clearance. Already 30 seconds into the 2 minutes of time added on by referee Tando Nzanzeka.
Look at the number of green shirts in that attacking third for Baroka. And I guess maybe it's just communication from the bench to say, you know what, if we got the ball, let's try and put waves and waves of attack by increasing presence of green shirts in the attack. But once again, here's Shiba taking his time about letting this ball go.
Well, he's under no pressure from the referee to get things going. We're into the last minute of this first half. Cosmos looking to go into the break with that 1-goal lead. The great psychological boost that will give them. Well, remember the last cup game Baroka played, they ended up lifting the trophy at the end of the encounter. Now they are under threat of being eliminated somewhat embarrassingly in the first round of the Nedbank Cup, and they will not be the only big scalp to go out early. It's been some first round. Semenya. Battled to have a regular place at platinum, Semenya, but he's really done well in his time at Baroka. First half is called to a halt here at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. William Shongwe will give us his impressions of this first half.
It's been a great half, I think, particularly for Cosmos, who for me didn't play like a first division side in the way that they controlled the game. Great passes, great movement, and great tempo that they were able to sustain throughout the first half. But for Baroka, a little disjointed, whether it's because of the entries of new players into the starting lineup, that remains to be seen. But clearly, I think, like the boss said, Jomo, he said, go express yourself. And I saw a little bit of that in that field of play.
Very much doubt Hassan Banda will come out for the second half. He's obviously got a hamstring injury, but we can confirm here the score after the first 45 minutes. Cosmos leading by 1-0.